What's up, guys? It's Sydney, and this is your 20-minute deep stretch with a resistance band. So grab your band and let's do it. All right, guys, I'm so glad you're here stretching it out with me today. We've got a 20-minute full body deep stretch with a resistance band. I'm gonna link the resistance bands that I use in the description below, but they are wad fitters, and any type of resistance band will work as long as they're a little bit longer, because we're gonna be doing some overhead rotations. Another option for this is a towel. If you have a towel, you can do that with an overhead rotation, or even like a big t-shirt that you don't mind stretching out. Anything that'll go about arm's length wide over your body, around your feet as you bend, etc. It's just gonna help us get a little bit more deep into that range of motion, a little bit further into the joint, and hit the muscles just a little bit better than if we were just using our own body weight for resistance, okay? So I'm gonna drop that for now. We're gonna start off with a big wide stance. We're gonna work shoulders, hips, quads, hamstrings, and calves today in particular, okay? So we're gonna start with backwards arm circles, bringing your fingertips together, and you're gonna shoot with your thumbs facing up, your arms back and forth, okay? 2, 1, let's go. Open, close, open, close. And I like to take this big, wide stance so it's not too much strain on your lower back. If we're up here together, you do a lot of pulsing back and forth, right? So I wanna keep you a little bit lower to the ground. Control your center of gravity a little bit more. Did a really heavy upper body workout a couple days ago, so my shoulders are feeling it for sure. 3, 2, 1, and take your left arm, pulling it up and over your right shoulder so it crosses your neck and it crosses right above that shoulder on the other side. I want you to keep your arm straight. You'll notice how my arm across my chest is straight. Thumb is pointing towards the ceiling. It's gonna really target this posterior delt, so the back part of your shoulder. 3, 2, 1, go ahead and drop it, and taking that same arm, I want you to pull up and over, okay? So you're using your right hand to pull that arm up high and then arching over just a little bit. There you go. This is kind of where your lat ties in, your lower back or your upper back, that big muscle in the midsection of your back. It's kind of where it ties into the shoulder here. You're pulling up and then you're arching over just a little bit. 2, 1, and good. Go ahead and drop that arm, and let's switch over to your left arm. So pulling it right across your neck and over top of your right shoulder. Arm stays straight, thumb stays pointing towards the ceiling. Good, you don't have to stand wide on this one. I was just doing that for our first arm circles. Good, now push it back, back, back towards the back of your body, keeping your chest squared up forward. So you don't want to be doing this. Okay, keep the hips and the chest squared right to the front. 2, 1, all right, great job. Take it up to the top of your body, pull it up, and then arch it over. There you go. So in order to loosen up the shoulder, you want to work on the muscles that surround that joint. Same thing with the knees and the hips. You want to work on the muscles around the joint if you're having issues with a joint. And that could range from anything from an injury in a muscle to tightness in a muscle to weakness in a muscle. So when you have an injury in the joint, of course, ligaments and tendons could be a possibility. But also, if it's not a major injury, look at the muscles around it. Can you loosen them up, or can you strengthen them? Okay? All right, one last one for the upper body, and we're gonna go with those backwards arm rotations. It's just gonna kind of move. Now that we've loosened up your anterior deltoid, posterior deltoid, we're gonna loosen up the shoulder and its mobilization. Okay, so take that towel or band or t-shirt or whatever you have, and let's reach up and over, reaching at least behind your head. If you can drop it all the way down, do that, but if not, just reach up and back. Okay, you're just working on the range of motion here. Mobilizing the shoulder after we've loosened up the muscles a little bit for about 4 minutes here. 3.5, I guess I should say. Good, and you want to keep your palms facing forward. Okay, when you go back, they're facing up. And make sure you don't go back one arm at a time. So if you think, oh, I can get it, and then you start going sideways and backwards, things get all crazy. It's not good for your joints. So make sure they go together. You keep that band or your towel straight. Okay, it stays parallel to the floor. Good, give me one more. Up and back over. Great job. Go ahead and have a seat on the ground with me. We're gonna start with the hips opening up. You're gonna drop that resistance band down for another minute, okay? Put the soles of your feet together. And I want you to lean to the right, pushing your left knee down towards the floor. Okay, so you're gonna lean away from that knee. Should feel it here in your hips. We're working down to the hips now. Good, and if you're a little more flexible, you can come a little bit closer to your hip, a little bit more close to mid-thigh. Okay, if your legs are up tall like this is gonna be a great one for you. It's not a long way to reach for your hand to be pushing on your knee. Good, all right, let's switch sides. Go to the right, or to the left, Push on your right knee, push it down towards the floor and lean away from it. So you're gonna feel it right here in your hip, possibly a little bit of lower back as well, a little lower back release. Great job. We're gonna go one more time through. Just hold here for about 8 more seconds. This is a really good one. Second time through, you should feel a little bit more looser, more loose. 2, 1, and let's go over to the other side. I'll try to give you about 30 seconds per side. Okay, so you can really focus. You'll start to feel it loosen up, which I want you to feel. Good job. Now you can kind of pivot the angle of your chest here as well. If you lean a little bit more forward, you're gonna feel it a little more in your lower back as well as the hip. So you can kind of pivot around and play with this stretch and see what feels good to you. All right, let's go ahead and switch over to the other side. Last round here on this stretch, and then we're gonna flip it over, still working on opening up those hips. Good, push down on the knee and lean away. Good, play with the angle of your chest. Go backwards more, forwards more, wherever you feel it the most. Good job, and 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good, all right, flip it over onto your hands and knees. Okay, I'm gonna go facing forward. Okay, hands are right in the middle, and we're gonna work one knee at a time, inching your legs out as wide as they'll go, okay? So put your hands down first. Toes are gonna be down on the ground, and you're gonna walk your knees out as far as they will go. Okay, once you get there, I want you to sit back into your hips and just hold right here, okay? It's kind of like a frog stretch. I know it looks weird, but I want you to feel it here in the adductor muscles, the inner thigh, and of course the hips. Good, stay right here. Sink a little lower if you can. Just hold here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and I want you to come back up using your toes. You can place them on the ground, inch back in, and let's shift your hands over to the left side of your knees, okay? And then drop your hip down in between your hands. So both knees are staying stacked up. You're drifting the hips over to right in between your hands and feeling that stretch here along the bottom side of your butt, along your hip. Okay, keep the legs stacked. Let your hip just kind of fall to the ground. Good, push it back a little bit away from your hands. Good job. 4, 3, 2, 1, and great job. Come on back. Let's shift your hands back over to the other side. Let's go to the right. Nice wide stance with your hands, and drop your hips down right over the ground, right in between your hands. And and figure out where you feel it the most, okay? If you feel it more with your hips a little closer to your hands, that's fine. If you need to, you can shift back, pushing your hip back and away from your hands. Good, stay right here. That's it. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good. Since we're on all fours, I want you to stay right here. Take your right foot and swing it up beside your right hand. Okay, and then straighten that back leg out just a little bit more, flopping your top of your foot down on the ground. There you go. And I want you to push your hips towards the floor. Both hands are still on the ground right now. And now push that front knee out just a little bit away from your elbow. You can roll kind of up onto the side of your foot here. Now start to walk a little bit higher with your chest, okay? So come up onto the knuckles of your hand or up on your fingertips and push your chest up while simultaneously still dropping that hip down. Good job. You guys still breathing? 3, 2, 1, and good. Let's shift back over your back leg. You can go ahead and sit down, keeping this front leg nice and straight, okay? You can support your body weight with your hands here. And I want your chest to fall right inside of your thigh. There you go. You can reach out to your opposite toe, left arm to right foot. Almost there. Give me about 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Okay, good. Come on up, let's switch sides. Okay, back to all fours. Taking your left foot up, or whichever foot you did not just do, and shift it forward with both your hands on the ground first. We'll start right here. Back foot is flat on the floor. And you're gonna drop your hips as close to the ground as you can with your chest still facing the mat. For now. Big deep breath. As you exhale, come up a little bit higher, maybe onto your knuckles, higher up onto your fingertips, and open up your chest. Good job. Sit right here, as low as you can. That hip towards the ground a little bit more for 4, 3, 2, 1. Big deep inhale. Exhale, push your butt back. You're gonna sit back on that back foot again. Use your hand to support and then reach. Good job. And if this is uncomfortable to your knee, you can stay right here on your knee, keeping that front leg straight. Same thing, we're just really targeting that hamstring. Good job. 3, 2, 1, and rest. You're gonna stay right here on the floor. Go ahead and grab your band again. Okay, I want you to open up your legs nice and wide. Okay, looping the band around one of your toes. You're gonna double it. Okay, so fold it in half or just grip the ends of your band here. Okay, double it around your foot, and I want you to take your opposite hand and pull your chest over. Okay, so if this is on my left foot or if on my right foot, I'm using my left hand, whatever is opposite. Okay, I want you letting your back kind of round out, arching over. 2, 1, and come up tall. We're gonna go down one more time in that way. So reaching across your body, grab that band, and I want you to pull chest towards your toe this time. Okay, I had you rounded out this way last time. Now I want you to shift over, chest towards your toe, and pull. And I tell you to use your opposite hand so I can make sure that your shoulders are squared up here. 3, 2, 1, and great job. Take your band, you're gonna lace it over the other foot. Okay, starting with a nice tall, broad chest, reaching across to the opposite side. You're gonna pull your body over first. Okay, keeping the chest open, feeling it in your lower back a little bit. Great job. Stretching is something that's not super invigorating, but it has to be done. Okay, it's like detailing your car. Have to keep up with the small things in order to make the whole machine continue to function as best as it should. Optimize its performance, right? Same thing with our bodies. 2, 1, and come on up. Okay, release for a second, nice tall spine. Big deep breath. I want you to grip with the opposite hand again. Shift your shoulders over to where you're facing your toe and go down. Here we go. Pull nice and tall with your spine. Elongate your spine as much as you can. 3, 2, 1. Great job. Okay, so my band is currently on my left foot. I'm gonna grab it with the left hand. So same side, right? If you have a t-shirt or you have a towel, leave it right on the arch of your foot. And I wanna have you lay on your side. Okay, so the top foot has the band on it. You're gonna pull that foot close to your glute, stretching your quad here. Okay, I promised a really good hip and leg portion of this workout. So we're gonna get that quad stretched out. You don't have to worry about keeping your knees close together. You can let them open up a little bit. There you go. All right, now start to push your chest forward a little bit more so you feel this in your hip flexor as well. Okay, open up your chest even if you can look up in the air or look back. Job. 3, 2, 1. All right, now I want you to keep that leg in the band, straighten up and roll over onto your back, pulling your toes down towards your face. Try to give you a good flowing type of stretch, so we'll work our way from top to bottom. When you get down to the bottom, kind of move through motions or flows where you go from one muscle to the next kind of seamlessly. Okay, rolling from quad to hip flexor to hamstring and calf here. And I like to work one leg at a time because the body, all of your muscles in the body are connected in some way, right? So especially in the leg, if you get one muscle loosened up and then you switch over to the other side, you know, you could lose the progress that you've made in that muscle. So I like to loosen this muscle up. Its antagonist, the hamstring, will loosen it up at the same time, so this whole upper leg is a little bit more relaxed. Connected to the hamstring is the calf. So I like to just make sure that we're working in a flowing motion as much as we can, okay? Okay, so come on up. Now let's work our way over to your other leg. We're gonna start back with that quad stretch. So laying on your hip where your leg is on top. Okay, you're gonna bend it. Pull that band behind your back and over top your shoulder. Don't worry about keeping your knees together. Just want you to pull right over your shoulder. Okay, push your hip forward. Feel the stretch in the front of your leg and your quad and your hip flexor. And if the band is too much right now, you can always drop the band, okay, and just use your hand. I like to use the band because sometimes it helps me choke up a little bit more on my foot than I normally can. All right, great job. Keep it on that foot. Let's roll over to your back and go up into your hamstring and your calf. So put your band as high up on the ball of your foot as you can. Pull it down and then pull it towards your face. So you're kind of like pulling down towards your kneecap and then pulling your leg closer to your body. Here we go, about 10 more seconds, and then I'm gonna have you flip over onto all fours. 3, 2, 1. All right, great job. Now let's work on mobilizing everything that we just worked on, from your shoulders to your hamstrings, glutes, quads, and calves. Let's drop into a tabletop position. Okay, and I'm gonna have you make big circles with your hips. Okay, walk your hands out a little farther if you need to. Big circles with your hips going clockwise right now. Okay, reach up, scroll your chest right between your hands, sit back, and circle. Okay, good. Give me one more, and when you come up to the top, let's switch directions and go counterclockwise. Okay, so think about drawing a big circle with your tailbone in the air, right? Circle up, circle back. Shoulders are moving in circles. Your hips are moving in circles. Got 10 seconds. Give me 2 more here, guys. 1, sit way, way, way back. Push, push, push. Come way up forward and rest. All right, amazing job, guys. Thank you so much for joining me in this deep stretch. Hope you feel a lot better in your shoulders and your hips, your quads. I know we had a lot of heavy lifting days. Yesterday, if you did the 30-minute workout, we had some high intensity movements where we used our legs a lot, did a lot of different planes of motion. So just make sure you take this time once a week where you don't do anything but stretch, right? Fine-tuning your body, stretching it out, getting your joints lubricated again, getting your muscles relaxed, working some of the lactic acid out of there, and improving your mobility so you can get ready to optimally perform for the week ahead, all right? You're gonna have your best week yet. Take care of your body, hydrate today because you've moved a lot with this body, and I can't wait to see you tomorrow, all right? Make sure before you head out, you check out the workouts that we posted this week if you haven't done them already, with the upper body and abs workout that I did with Dustin right here, and a little bit deeper stretch with the foam roller right here. Make sure, of course, you click subscribe here before you head out, and I love you guys. Thank you so much.